Hello and welcome back. I'm Dr. Lori Williams. I help individuals and corporations to create lasting mental and emotional wellness through holistic practices. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how to navigate a difficult conversation, but from a place of confidence. This can be beneficial to you in your personal life and professional life. So the first thing that you want to focus on is being able to respond from a place of being centered and grounding and knowing what you're going to say. It's responding rather than reacting. So responding, you're very clear on what it is that you're trying to convey and why you're trying to convey it. It's not coming from a hurtful place. And essentially it allows the conversation to be a little bit more a little bit more intentional, and not to be coming from a place of being defensive, which defensiveness, as we know, for anyone who's been in conflict before, defensiveness escalates conflict. So try to avoid conflict altogether. Will definitely help you to be able to have those difficult conversations from a place of confidence. Another part of it is when you are having these conversations, your focus should be on understanding the other person, understanding the other person's perception, perspective, even you can understand how they're actually hearing you. So just because you're saying something in a specific way does not mean the other person is perceiving it the way that you are meaning it. So making sure that you are being very clear and that the other person is actually understanding you for what it is that you're trying to say. If they're not, we can figure out a different way to convey the message to ensure that they are understanding us as well. So you definitely want to be focusing on understanding the other person, not winning the conversation. One person cannot win a conversation. Both people either win it or both people lose it. So either way, you cannot win a conversation. You want to have a conversation to understand the other person. The other thing is to have boundaries in place. Make sure you're very clear in your day-to-day life what your boundaries are and what you're willing to take. A lot of the times we feel hurt and disrespected because we don't have these boundaries in place, and other people may become reactive to us, and we stand there and we take it and we allow them to be disrespectful and to cross, to hurt us emotionally. So when you have a boundary in place, it may look like, hey, you know what? I am happy to continue this conversation when we are both in a place of being calm, and we can stay respectful. So, at that point, you walk away from the conversation, both parties walk away from the conversation, calm down, regroup, and then you can come back to the conversation. Making sure that your boundaries are very solid when it comes to communication is very, very important. This is how typically things can get heated, is if the boundaries aren't strong. So you might even just have to ask, another idea of a boundary is to just ask for some time of like, hey, you know what, I need time to think about this. I need to really think about what's best for me or how I want to handle this in the best way possible. Can we circle back around to this at another time? Or like, I'll keep you updated, whatever. All of this in conversation, you want to make sure that you are not just saying something for the sake of saying something, because this is what happens. When this happens, you end up saying things that you don't actually mean and you can't actually stand behind. So to be able to navigate conversations from a place of hard conversations from a place of confidence, you want to make sure that you have very clear boundaries for yourself. And last but not least, you want to make sure that you have either worked on your own healing so that your own emotions aren't getting involved in it. Typically, if we feel like we're being cornered or we feel like we're having the blame placed on us, our nervous system will go into fight or flight response. So it's either we need to get out of the conversation, we run away, or we stand there and we fight. Neither one of these is actually productive. So making sure that you have done some healing work on yourself, that you can show up in these hard conversations from that place of emotional intelligence, and making sure that your part in keeping the conversation healthy and productive is 100% within your scope of responsibility. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you back here next time.